We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. For you who are trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
My nickname is Magician of Chaos and I play with Kangaphants in Austria. I know this team when I met Christoph on TCU and he told me to take part of this team and I was excited to take part of this team and so I joined this team during the last quota. So for this match I'm playing Jokes, called Jokes and of my teammate. I think this match will be very difficult for me because my opponent's deck is very good. It has a lot of speed and I have the only chance to win this game is making much numbers instead of my opponent and I have to try to go very quick and forge keys during the first turn. I think this is the only way to win. I trained a lot with this deck and really I was remembered 2-1 for me. But during testing, I was very lucky. So I don't know if now I can repeat these 2 wins. So I have to open nothing. I think his deck is better than mine. So I think probably he will win. But I'll do my best. Good luck and fun. I think it will be a nice game. So let's see who will be the winner.
The last matchup for this round, the last matchup we are covering, of course, during this round, would be a really surprising one, we could say. We would see one deck already who already won, I believe, twice during the Vault Tour. So a double Vault Tour winner versus a really nice deck, but actually not so successful. It's he who tumultuously jokes about nothing versus the famous, or if you could say that, infamous Admiral Inslang the Pink Fraud. So which deck you want to cover first?
Yeah, so both of those decks are really spicy. Definitely, it will be a really fast match because of the speed of Pink Fraud and the Ember Burst from the second deck. But yeah, we need to just firstly, well, let's say we can cover the Pink Fraud because everyone knows that deck. It was as you said, the double winner, but also it was in Poland in the semi-final of the Archon Voltor, so it's a really known deck.
I believe you have played against it during the Polish Vault Tour.
Yeah, in the second round.
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, I played AOA, which is now around 60 SAS, which was really fun because I was a little bit new to the game, but I still managed to go fine. And yeah, the Pink Rod was a clear lesson of what is the value in cards and how to play around them. Because when I see the deck list, of course it's great, but there are many things you need to play well. Basically, reverse time and the way you play around library access, how to use it, and when to not use it. The Dunk was the person who actually taught me by the game to discard LA because you can't get the same value because you use too many logos cards already, and reverse timing, the whole thing was the first lesson. The second lesson is Martian makes bad allies to purge shadow creatures, which are basically not so great in this deck. Maybe you can of course get the value, and you can of course get the value from Logos creatures with the LA, but most of the time you want the sweet Mars stuff on the board and in the hand. And yeah, I would say it's a great deck, but you need to pilot it well, and there are some counters to it, definitely.
Yeah, and during this round, it's not piloted by Dunkoro, unfortunately, but I think that the deck's owner, this deck owner, would be watching and would be giving some hints. We are playing in teams after all, so there should be some kind of coaching. But we focused a lot on the pink fraud, but everybody knows this deck. I'm not sure if everybody is aware about he who tumultuously jokes about nothing. And what I see here is a really all-rounded deck. So a deck that has outs for on almost every situation. So we have a lot of Ember generation in Untamed. This Untamed actually could win a game if we replace the key charge with Chota Hazari. It could win a game in about one turn, I believe. Yeah, that's
Basically,
true.
the Untamed is absurd. You
Yeah,
have so much Ember generation that the cards like the Graft and too much to protect are the counters, but you can play around it with key charge. But the most of the matchup, this deck with a good draw can win on 2 or 3 turns because the turn one first key and like 12 Umbra on top of that is a little bit
yeah,
overwhelming. And besides Upswell, Untamed, the Untamed you really want there like if you want to exchange some cards in Untamed, you can, but we are not constructing decks. If you will
yeah. We
open
are
this,
not,
then you will be really happy.
fortunately.
Um, yeah, but also you have this with a great Umber control in the house.
Yeah,
We have double shred, double shuler and Jumble, which is really great for just stopping your opponent a little bit until you hit the Untamed. And you also have shadows, not as good as in Pink Fraud, but still with many Ember pips on and a little bit of stealing. And this deck, even though it says it minus 0.8 speed, the speed measured in Ember generated is absurd.
yeah. I believe that maybe efficiency is not so good, but you are constantly generating Ember and putting pressure on your opponent. So I believe we discussed this before, and here we are actually looking at a coin toss.
Definitely.
Who will draw the best cards firstly, and who will play their cards with with finesse. Who will play against their opponent, around the cards that his opponent have, and that's it. That's a
Yeah,
coin toss.
definitely. I see the famous pink fraud losing the game. If even if it's the coin toss, I will give a little like 1% even more
Mhm.
to the second deck just because there's only one card stopping like the graft, but most of the time you can't rely on hitting this one card in the matchup, and basically from the first turn, I believe the second deck will be on check, and Dunk has some options, but if those checks will be like Dunk's deck, I mean Pink Fraud, I don't know who will be piloting, but the absurd amount of Ember will mean that there will be a clock for the pink fraud to draw the battlefields or to go with LA and
Yeah,
hit the ground. And the thing that pink fraud actually dislikes is the disruption, and the succubus can play the huge role because there is not so easy sometimes to get rid of it. We've seen Dunk struggle, and I think this is the matchup Pink Fraud can struggle. So I'm really excited to see the game. even though it's a coin toss. I'm a little bit rooting against the pink rod to see the other great deck winning and being
Yeah.
successful.
It's
We'll see.
it's really nice to root for the underdog.
Underdog, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we could say it's a coin toss with some our personal favors. And that was the last deck to cover for this week.
And we're back.
So thank you, Robic. It was a really nice
I'm
talk.
back.
It was a really nice deconstruction, and see you in a week.
They're still talking.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go.
Sure. So I actually had no audio from the video that time because my headset cut again. So here we go. So this is a very quick game. I've been
Pink
assured.
Rod versus He Who to Most Jokes About Nothing. This
Wow.
This is an unedited game, but look at Magician of Chaos starting off with the
Everything.
1, 2, what is that? A 9 start. Alex dropping the
Bubble, yeah. Alex the Mulligan, but so
Alex
he should-
get rid of Pawn Sacrifice, get rid of Lights Out. Lights Out probably get rid a good choice.
I think
There's
she's just
Dodger,
cycling
which
through.
means
First does Pixie, second does
Lights
Pixie.
Out. Yeah, the Nature's Call is going to get rid of the Dodger. Put the Pixies come back down. 9 Amber. Check your move.
Dear God. I mean, I have played that once myself with one of my decks, but only ever once.
Library access. Plays Quickso, draws Labwork. Plays Smoko, plays Labwork, draws nothing else.
Oh, that's
Relentless,
lucky.
Relentless Whispers is going to be very strong here. But
First key.
Magician of Chaos, when first key gets first key, is immediately sat on 3 Amber, ready to go. And
Then
Magician of
Mock
Chaos.
Dis, 3 fakes, then Chirette, and then what's his name on the right? Skylar.
No, plays Dodger, plays
Oh.
Ghost of the Hand, gets to 5. Interesting choice. I think he wants
The Amber.
Alex to get above 4 so that Shula can come in and take it.
No, that makes sense. I thought it was 3, not 4 for some reason, but yeah, you're right, it's 4.
Plays
Now-
the Grabber Jammer, plays Squawker, readies, gets to 6. Shula and Chirette do not care about your 6, and Dominator Bauble with the Dodger is going to be beautiful here.
Well, let's play and see it. So, what's he going to play first? Mock Dis or 3 fakes? Oh, 3 fakes.
Free Fates are Hand of this.
Hand of this, sorry. Wrong set.
I wouldn't have played the Shula because the Shula gets destroyed by the 3 Fates, so he kind of.
Yeah, but he doesn't want Dodger to be destroyed by the 3 fakes, that's the
The
thing.
Dodger's going to take 4 damage here anyway.
True.
So I'd have killed it just to prevent the Nerve Blast or Relentless Whisper from getting him. But goes straight to 7. Alex is down on 1. Nerve Blast deals damage to Chirette. Relentless Whispers goes up to 7 themselves. And
Most
the main
biggest-
issue with 7 is Drumble. Can immediately, if you have 7 or more Amber, Drumble just captures it all. Plays Drumble, takes on the Amber, plays Succubus, plays Fear. The 3 feats again still can't be used. Reaps, and then
Doesn't need
Reaps
to be.
a Dodger, and boom! Magician of
7.
Chaos on 7. Alex has got 0 Amber thanks to Drumble, and no means of getting rid of it apart from the sample collection, which is a very bad turn.
I thought sample collection you had to have a key. Your opponent must have a
Your
key.
opponent's it's your
Ah.
opponent's key. Kangaphants, but there's no artifacts in play.
So now's the time when sample collection will come down, but
Is it though? Because Poison Wave is going to do a lot of damage to your opponent's board here. But Scout with a Dodger is mental here. So Scout lets you fight with 2 creatures and it gives them skirmish. So the
Yeah.
Dodger can fight into the other Dodger, steal the 1, and jobs are good 'un.
yeah.
And then you've got the Halakar, which you put next to Succubus, which gives the Dodger skirmish.
Jesus. Magician of Chaos deck order has been amazing.
Both players had amazing deck order. The library access did, unfortunately, whiff a little bit for Alex. But the amount of Amber control has just been insane here. It is a bit of a shame to see Magician of Curse with a 2/2/2 hand, but it's better than the 2/2/1 hand that Alex has got.
Yeah.
Scout is Dodger's definitely going to be on the Scout order here.
Yep, there's the Dodger, and then what's the second one it's going to do?
There wasn't one, it was just Dodger.
Oh, it's just Dodger, okay.
Doesn't want to give Alex the archiving with the researcher, and the other two both have elusive, so there's no point.
Yep.
There's the Hunting Witch, and this deck
Bit late.
has three. This deck has 3 Hunting Witches. We haven't seen any, so the main source of speed in this deck hasn't actually presented itself.
And it's not exactly in the right setup at the moment. So,
Sample collection takes 2, but you know what? You know what? Who doesn't care about that? Charette.
Yeah, but
You can reap Shula, you can reap Halakar that gets you to 4, 5 off the 3 Fates, 6 off the Poltergeist. Charette takes him down, and then Alex is having to come back from a potential check on 6 here with still not forging the first key. This is insanity. Removes the stun. Wants Dodgy back, guess because of the plays Poltergeist, blows up the Dominate Ball because it has to. Doesn't play the 3 Fates. I'd got myself to 6 as much as I could there.
I think he wants to keep the Poor Presence though, because he can't get to 6, he only get to 5, so...
The amount of archiving here is beautiful because it's going to set up the battle fleets. Alex is going to have a hell of a battle fleet turn because we've seen them play Mars once.
No, I don't think we have. Oh yeah, we have seen them play it once. Once. Miasma's come through though. Unfortunately, it's by itself. But this is a disc turn. Reap, let him get his key, and or do your shadows.
You can drop the 2 Hunting Witches, but yeah, Silvertooth, Reap.
Yeah, that's just. And then you can't pawn sacrifice because there's nothing to sacrifice him into, but you get the one for the Amber.
But yeah, you can just discard. And we see Nerve Blast, Relentless Whispers, and Nexus.
Oh, God.
Now, Miasma is a guaranteed stop here.
But you need to go with it. You can't just do a Miasma.
Yeah. Battlefleet is digging for... Is it Hypnotic Command? Is it no? It's not Gravity. Hypnotic Command, maybe. There's bait and switch. You got the second battle fleet, but there's no. There's a Mega Mouth. There's a Martians Make Bad Allies, which is going to get a lot of Amber Burst, an EMP Blast, a Key Abduction, but there's no actual stopping power.
No, so a third of his deck, but.
Key Abduction gets the second key, so it has forged 2 keys in a single turn.
Which is an impressive feat, and it's on 7. Let's be clear here. He's done
on 8 now,
but he just can't get that one theft.
No jammer. So he was digging for the second jammer, which is still in the deck. A Magician of Chaos takes this 3-2.
That would be one hell of a comeback if he did it, but that was an amazingly quick game.
I won
Definitely
this
was.
game,
Right,
but
to the interview.
I think I've been very lucky. I drew my best untamed cards during first turn, so I've been very, very lucky, I think. I drew right cards at the right moment, I think. I know that his deck is a lot of speed. I had to be very, very quick, so I played with this thinking in mind. I think the key cards were charged, but I won without it. It's been a very, very nice game.